This tutorial is powered by AskQuesty.com. Get help with your website on demand. And don't forget, subscribe for more tutorials.
In this video, I'll be showing you how to add a background image in WordPress. So here are some background images that I want to add to my WordPress website over here, which I've logged into already. Now the first thing I want to do is to select a background image. So let's say we select this one and click View File. So this is the link to the file. So I will copy this link, which I will use later. So to be just in case, what you want to do is to open up a text editor and paste the link of the background image. Then you can hide the text editor and navigate to your website. Over here, you can right click on your background and then click on the inspect button. After which, this pop-up region will pop up. And you can move your mouse within this region to select the region of your website you want to place the background on. Now, if, for example, I hover my mouse over this region, then I would be setting the background for this header region of the website, which I don't want. If I go to this region, you'll notice that the highlighted region is still quite small, so I can navigate up to where it says container. Now it's a bigger region, but I still want more, so I'll go up to here, and this is about right. It highlights just about the right amount of the website that I want to place the background on. So with this being good, what I want to do is I want to test out how the background looks like on this particular div. So to do so, what I want to do is I want to target this specific div. Now I could go over here to the right hand side where it says styles, and I can add some styles here. But what I want to do instead is I want to go over here where it says the plus sign, add new style rule, click on it, and here I want to target the div with the ID of content. Okay, so this particular div is what we want. Div with the ID of content. In CSS, also known as cascaded style sheets, that you address this particular div by writing div and then the hashtag sign. The hashtag sign or the pound sign represents ID, and this is content. So this says target the div with the ID of content. You can also target this particular div by class instead. So over here where it says class equals site content, you can also call this div. You can also target it by saying div dot site content. And what this means is target the div dot, the dot stands for class. So target the div with the class named site dash content. But in this case, I prefer to use an ID. So div pound sign content. So now that we're targeting this particular div, what you want to do is to add the background image. So type background dash image colon, and over here you want to put in the URL with a double parentheses, and then inside you can put the double quotations, two of them. And then inside of the double quotations, this is where you put the link to your background image. So I'll do a paste, and here I pasted the image link, the image URL. So you see I've added the background image to this website. Of course, the image looks quite glitchy, and if you look over here on the right hand side, you'll see that the image starts to repeat. So if you don't want this look, what you can do is to go to the div. You can go to this selector element and add in another line of code. So you can type background dash size colon, and then over here you want to select the one called cover, which will allow your image to cover the entire background. So type in cover, And this looks about good. This is what you want. So now you want to copy this entire bit of code. Now you can copy it by going over here to the right hand side where it says inspector-stylesheet:1 in this case. So this link on the right hand side, you can click on it, and here's the code you want to copy. So select it all and then do a copy. You can do a Control C or Command C, depending on whether you're on Windows or Mac or Linux. And now head over to your text editor, and you don't need this link anymore, and you can simply paste the bit of code you copied. Now you can hide text editor. So at this point, you may think, hey, we've added the background, but actually what we've done earlier was simply a test on our own machine. Anyone else that visits the website will still see the original website with a regular background. So the changes here are not permanent. And we can prove that by going over here to the top left where there's the refresh button and refresh the page. And when we refresh the page, we can see that the background was temporary. So to make it permanent, you want to make sure you're logged in to your WordPress theme, and then head over to where it says Customize, and then navigate down to Additional CSS. Click on Additional CSS, and here is where you can add the code we copied earlier. So I still have the code in my clipboard, but if you don't have it, you can open up your text editor. So take the code and paste the code. So the code pasted and the live preview will show you that this is how it will look like when the background is added. So we like this background, so click Publish. So now, after the background is published, what you can do is simply click the X. So now you see that the background has successfully been added. And you want to test out if it works for the different pages. So I'll go over to a few different pages to see if the background still exists there. So I navigate to Contact page. And here on the Contact page, you'll see that the background is available. Now, of course, you can see over here that the color doesn't really the text color doesn't really stand out. So perhaps you would want to make this text darker or contrast a bit more with the background. Let's try another page. So this is the projects page. And after it loads, you'll notice that the background image is still there. Again, the text contrast is not so good, so you want to make the text darker or lighter depending to contrast with the background. So let's head back to the original website. So back at this original website, I want to tell you one more thing that's important. Right now, the background image relies on the URL pointing to this specific URL, right? This image is hosted by the wikimedia.org. Now, let's say for some reason, Wikimedia decides to take down this image, meaning that this image is no longer available and this link no longer works. In that case, this background will fail because the image is relying on an external website. So what you would want to do in this case, just to be safe, is to take this image and host it on your own website or one of your own services. So for example, if you own Wikimedia, then it's perfectly okay to use an image from Wikimedia because you control Wikimedia and you control whether or not this image is up on the site. But if you don't control Wikimedia and then you don't know when this link will be available. And if it goes down, you're basically out of luck. So what you want to do is take this image and bring it over to your own website. So to do so, what you want to do is navigate to dashboard on the left hand side, and over here where it says media, you would want to upload a picture of this background. So we could easily do that. Now what you can do is over here right click and do save image as, and let's just put this in the desktop, and I'll name this as Yosemite. It's a JPG image, and click save. So Yosemite has been downloaded. So you see on the desktop, it says yosemite.jpg. This is the image we want to upload to our website. So in the website, click add new for media library and drop files anywhere to upload or select files. We can select file or we can drop a file. In this case, since we're using a desktop, I would just drop the file. It may be faster. So I dropped the file and it's loading right over here on the left. You see that it's successfully been loaded. So if you click on this image, you'll notice that there's a link over here. And if we copy the link, I can go over here to the new tab and do a Control V or paste the link. And then I navigate to this website, and you'll notice that WordPress is now hosting this yosemite.jpg under uploads under WP content for this specific date, which is pretty good. So now you don't need to worry about this image being deleted because it's on your own WordPress site and you can delete it whenever you want. So we want to change the link that we used earlier, the Wikimedia link, to our own link. So copy this link and then navigate back to your website. You can close this now. Head over to the website, click on the website, and then you want to go back to where it said customize. So go over here to customize, and then on the menu, navigate down to additional CSS at the very bottom, click on it, and over here on the link where it says the Wikimedia link, you want to delete that and paste your own website link, your own WordPress link to the picture. Click publish. And now you can close it. So now with this setup, your image is no longer reliant on this external URL, and you are in control of this picture. So that is how you add a background image to your WordPress website.
Thanks for watching. If this was helpful, please subscribe. And if you need extra help, visit AskQuesty.com and send us your questions.